Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, and here is the news that you can use. This is the Exchange Daily. Today we are tracking a convergence of deadlines that affect your budget, your security posture, and your innovation pipeline. We have a hard stop on an AWS innovation program today, a one-week warning for Google Cloud billing changes, and a critical governance window closing at NIST next week. On the risk side, Microsoft is planning a forced outage test you need to survive, and CISA has flagged a Windows core component that is under active attack. First up, if you have teams building on Amazon Web Services, today is the submission deadline for the Global 10,000 AIdeas competition. While this sounds like just another hackathon, the executive signal is much louder. AWS has been pushing to move generative AI from the learning phase into the shipping phase, and this competition was their primary vehicle for surfacing viable prototypes. If your teams have been working on entries, ensure they hit the submission portal before the close of business. More importantly, use today as a checkpoint to ask your innovation leads which of these experiments are ready for a real budget and which should be archived. The window for low-stakes experimentation is closing, and the market is moving toward production resilience. Turning to Cloud Financials, you have exactly 1 week to prepare for a significant billing shift in Google Cloud. Starting next Wednesday, January 28th, the Vertex AI Agent Engine moves from preview pricing to metered billing. This specifically impacts the sessions, memory bank, and code execution features. For the last few months, development teams have treated these as low-cost or free sandbox environments. Next week, they become line items on your invoice. The FinOps action for today is to audit every project using Agent Engine. Identify what is running, estimate the volume of calls, and kill any zombie pilots that are looping without delivering value. Do not let a forgotten agent prototype surprise you during the February billing cycle. On the governance front, NIST is closing out the month with 2 major public comment deadlines that will shape your compliance future. Comments are due by January 30th for both the Cyber AI Profile and the NIST Internal Report 8587 on digital identity tokens and assertions. The identity draft is particularly critical for CISOs because it defines the technical requirements for how AI systems and users prove who they are in a zero-trust environment. If you rely on complex IAM architectures or are planning an AI governance strategy, you have 9 days left to submit feedback. Silence now means you accept the standards as written, so have your GRC team review the drafts for operability issues before the window shuts. Moving to infrastructure risk, Microsoft Azure has issued a warning that platform engineering teams need to heed immediately. Microsoft has scheduled a scream test for Azure custom resource providers on February 24th. A scream test is a deliberate, temporary disablement of a service to see who screams because their application broke. This is the precursor to the full retirement of the service in October. If you have legacy control planes or custom infrastructure automation running on this provider, you need to identify those dependencies now. Do not wait for February 24th to find out which production systems depend on this deprecated feature. Use the next month to migrate or risk a scheduled outage that you cannot roll back. Finally, in cybersecurity, CISA added a critical Windows vulnerability to the Known Exploited Vulnerabilities catalog yesterday, and it demands your immediate attention. The issue is CVE 2026-2805, affecting the Windows Desktop Window Manager. Because this is a core OS component involved in rendering the user interface, it is present on virtually every Windows endpoint in your fleet. CISA has confirmed active exploitation in the wild. For federal agencies, this triggers a mandatory remediation deadline. For the private sector, this is a signal to prioritize the OS patch cycle immediately. Verify that your endpoint protection is blocking known exploit paths and accelerate patching for high-value targets today. That's the exchange for today. Remember, inspect what you expect. If you are interested in how this newscast is created or want more information about how to be a part of it, contact podcasts@matorasolutions.com.